Okay, before we jump to these four great elements, let's review on the 40 types of samatha. So we already finished kasina, right? 10 kasina. Asubha, we already mentioned. The anusati, which only can give excess concentration. Kaya gata sati, 32 body parts, which also can only give to first jhana. Anapanasati, most people have practiced it lead to 4 or 5th jhana. The 4 Brahma Vihara can lead to 3rd or 4th jhana. Alupa is talking about those higher alupa jhana. Now, we already finished the ahare paticulasanya, lossness or nutriment. It only can lead to excess. And then this one is the last one in this samatha, the chatu, dhatu, vavatana, 4 great elements, which only can lead to excess. So later we will discuss, is it only lead to excess? Okay. Now, we can, normally I also always show in terms of samatha and vipassana. Now, in samatha, we notice that there's kasina, but there's no kasina in the vipassana. There's asubha, the impurity or stages of the corpse you can find in the vipassana in these 9 stages of corpse. Anusati is most of them is only in samatha, except the kaya gata sati, 32 body parts, which already you can find in the vipassana, in the kaya nupassana, contemplation of the body. And anapanasati, of course, you can find in the vipassana also. And then the metta, karuna, mudita, already not here, but upeka you can find in the bojjhanga here. Now, this ahare patikurasanya, this is just a perception or contemplation or thinking you cannot find in the vipassana. And these 4 great elements, chatu, dhatu, vavatana. Here is called chatu for dhatu elements. Vavatana is analysis. In Kaya Nupassana, it's called dhatu. Same using the terms called dhatu manasikala. Paying attention on the elements. All right. So this means that 4 great elements you can practice as samatha or as vipassana. So this is a kind of like background. So when we see later, so we have a sense. All right. Now I still refer to this Visuddhimagga. So when you look at the Visuddhimagga, you find it under the chapter of samadhi, concentration, and this is on the nutriment, so we finished already. Now, from this part onwards, that means that this is page 344. Defining on the elements word definition, all right? So, chatu, dhatu, vavatana. Now, it's defined according to Pali sense, chatunam, dhatunam, vavatanam. So, it's a genitive plural. So that's a definition here. So when you study the Visuddhimagga, you find that there's a lot of Pali definition, a lot of Abhidhamma definition. So it's actually very good for people who are into seer study. And from here, I will copy some of the text, which is I think is important because there's many things listed here. So on the page 28, so on. Right. So if you still want, you can refer to this book. So I just copy whatever I think is important. Now, one thing here, when you study these 4 great elements, so better put the word analysis of 4 great elements. It's actually important because it listed the sutta that we should know. This is given briefly in Mahasatipatthana Sutta and also in this one. So this kind of sutta you all should read because it's actually the words of the Buddha. And all these sutta, in a way, it's actually quite famous by itself because they are to do with meditation. Okay, so in Visuddhimagga, it mentions some part from the Mahasatipatthana Sutta. I hope you all know what is Mahasatipatthana Sutta. So, great foundation of mindfulness. Okay, Sutta. the discourse of the Great Foundation Mindfulness. Now, these suttas, I will put the Pali and also English for those who are interested. Okay, so here, so I will just skip the Pali. Right now, I will invite some of you to read. So as we read, then we can understand because it will save my voice. All right. So maybe we start with Doris. Doris, can you read? Yeah. You're from Seremban, right, Doris? Yeah.
Which one? Sayagyi, the English
The
version?
one big, yes, the English version. Unless you want to read the Pali. No.
English version.
Okay.
Bhikkhus, just as though a skilled butcher or butcher's apprentice had killed a cow and was seated at the crossroad with it cut up into pieces, so too bhikkhus. A bhikkhu reviews this body, however placed, however disposed, as consisting of elements. In this body, they are the earth element, the water element, the fire element, and the air element.
Okay.
Continue.
Okay, you can continue some more here. Yeah.
In this body, he remains.
Can you read slower because it's a lot of dhamma here. Read
Okay,
slower.
sorry. In this way, he remains focused internally on the body in and of itself, or externally on the body in or of itself, or both internally and externally on the body in and of itself, or he remains focused on the phenomenon of origination with regard to the body, on the phenomenon of passing away with regard to the body, or on the phenomenon of origination and passing away with regard to the body, or his mindfulness that there is a body is maintained to the extent of knowledge and remembrance, and he remains independent, unsustained by, not clinging to anything in the world. This is how a monk remains focused on the body in and of itself.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Now, when we are studying from the sutta, so you must know these exact words spoken by the Buddha, right? Now, this is a good analogy. So in sutta, you'll find a lot of this kind of analogy, and this analogy is talking about cow, right? And then we'll go. So now I think if maybe you don't see much cow, but imagine somebody is having the cow and he sell it to a butcher, and the butcher has killed it while sitting at the crossroad, cut it to pieces, right? So the Buddha actually asked the bhikkhu to review the body, cut it, not to say with the knife, or cut it with his uh, sword of wisdom, all right, with the mind. So cut it so you can see it's only this one, dhatu. Dhatu is element here. Okay. So cut the body until you see it's only dhatu, and the dhatu is mentioned as the Patawi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. This is Bali. Patawi is the earth, Apo, water, Tejo, fire, Vayo, wind. All right. So if you want to remember shortcut, I think some of you might remember I teach you. So you can remember P, A, K, T, V. All right. So you just remember your father, Papa, watching TV. All right. So shortcut. Your papa is watching the TV. So Patawi Apo Tejo Vayo. So it's just a some of how you call it acronym. So that's the level of how Buddha wants us to meditate. Cut the body into the four great elements. All right. And he also mentioned the Vipassana point as Dory has read just now. Okay. This is a contemplation on the Kaya Nupassana. Kaya Nupassasi means that contemplation of the body, and this is actually some of the important. We can just go through some of the Vipassana point here. Right. You need to remain focused internally. So not to say internally, but you also need to see externally, inside and outside the body. And then you need to see origination, means that the cause and how they will pass away also. Okay. And this is actually interesting. There is a body. Purpose is for the knowledge and remembrance. And that's how he remain independent, sustained, not cling to anything, means he let go the craving. All right. So that's how we should contemplate the body using these four great elements. All right. Now this term, there is a body. So okay, we maybe can do some discussion here. All right. So you can see the Pali, Ati Kayo, for those who study the Pali. Hopefully you all still remember. There's a body. So what do you think this sentence try to mean? All right. Okay, for those who have meditated, should ask those meditator. All right, let's start with Doris Chi. Yeah, meditator, right? Are you?
Yeah, I'm just a learner. I think maybe
Okay.
does that Sayaji, does that mean the physical body? There is a body that we can see. I'm
You're
not
talking
sure.
about there's a physical body.
Yeah, is it true? Is it correct?
Yes, but beside the physical body, what else?
I have no idea, Sayaji. Very
No
sorry.
idea. All right. Okay. Okay. So Ming say, okay, Ming say, can you try? What do you think the meaning of
I,
there is a body here?
I think it is a reference to our knowledge that there is a body because we have to refer to it as a body.
You mean if you are not meditating, you don't know you have the
No,
body.
no, it's not
No.
that.
So
When we are
so
not meditating, we refer it as a solid body. But when we are
okay.
meditating, we do not consider it as a solid body, but a component of it comprises of the elements.
Okay, but here does not mention about four great elements here. It's only mentioned there is the body.
There is a body is maintained
Okay.
is maintained to the extent of knowledge and remembrance. Is
Mm.
for us is for us as a knowledge and to
Okay.
identify.
To identify there's a body.
Uh,
Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to see how much you all can okay. Any next meditator here? All right. Okay. Anybody try? How about Brother Ko? Okay, you try. I know you don't meditate much, but maybe your mind is more analytical. Can you try Brother Ko? Yeah.
I mean, based on the subsequent sentence, maintained to the extent of knowledge and remembrance, I think that one is something like the perception, the, percep the perception that, or probably the knowledge that one has understand, you know. So there is a body, I think is something like, to me, I think it's the knowledge that the body is actually comprises of the four elements.
Okay. Four great elements. All right. So
Uh,
you just want to say, to remember that the body is consisted of four elements, right?
yes,
That's
yes.
your idea. Okay.
Uh,
There's one way we can look at it. I think it's same like what Ming Se is trying to say just now, right? Ming Se? Or Doris also, right?
yes.
I think you all try to say this point. Okay. All right.
I think
So
they
any,
are trying to
yes?
enter from the concept, whereas this one is from the reality aspect, right? So
All
there's
right.
a slight difference. Mm.
So you say there is a body, is a concept. Okay. And then
Yeah,
the four
no,
great
but
elements.
it, but based on the four great elements, it's more on reality.
Okay.
Whereas
So there's a body is more on concept, is it? And four great elements is the we
reality,
call it panyati, the reality,
finality,
ultimate reality. All right. Okay. There's one way we can look at it. All right. But I was thinking maybe there's another way. Okay. Instead of okay, there is a body. Okay, I would say like this. Not it. It is my body. Can you get it?
yes, that's another.
Okay,
Okay.
yes.
It's a
All right.
nature at itself, not so much of my or me.
All right. So you can see here the later you say not clinging to anything. So this means that when you say there is the body, you let go the craving. Okay. So no craving. But when you say it is my body, at this stage still has craving. Okay, you all can follow, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
yes,
And
Sayaji.
that's the reason of why now we can read some more. Okay, this and then I think this paragraph explain the earlier part, this part. Okay, I think Doris Chi, your teacher, you can read this one. Doris Chi, yeah.
Thank you, Sayaji.
Mm.
What is meant? Just as the butcher, while feeding the cow, bringing it to the shambles, keeping it tied up, after bringing it there, slaughtering it, and seeing it slaughtered and dead, does not lose the perception cow, as long as he has not carved it up and divided into parts. But when he has divided it up, it is sitting there. He loses the perception cow, and the perception meat occurs. He does not think, I am selling cow, or they are carrying cow away, but rather he thinks, I am selling meat, or they are carrying meat away. So too, this bhikkhu, while still a foolish ordinary person, both formally as a layman or as one gone forth into homelessness, does not lose the perception of living being or man or person, as long as he does not, by resolution of the compact into elements, review this body, however placed, however disposed, as consisting of elements.
Okay, so I think we should read some more. Okay, right. Okay, please read. Yeah.
But when he does review it as consisting of elements, he loses the perception, living being. His mind establishes itself upon elements. That is why the Blessed One said, because just as though a skilled butcher.
Okay, now Doris Chi. Now you read. What do you understand the meaning now better about this? What is the meaning of? Can you just use your whatever? Don't read anymore. You already read. Just use a simple English. What do you think this paragraph trying to tell us?
That means the Buddha, the Blessed One, doesn't want us to think of the object as a thing, but the element is made up of elements. Am I right?
Okay. Then about the cow.
That means there's
What
no
do you think?
detachment perception. That means it's just a piece of meat that is made up of these elements.
Okay. So before
Yeah.
that, he has the perception. It is a
He
before he
loses
cut it. Yeah. All right. So before that, he does not lose the
the perception cow.
cow. Okay.
That
After
means,
he cut it off, so
that
what
means
happened?
he considered this as an elements, not as an object, as a cow, or as his
Okay.
cow.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Am I
So
right in
after
saying
that, okay, he does not lose the perception is cow. Yeah, like this. Okay. So before that, he got the cow. All right.
Yes,
So
yes,
he still had the perception cow, but after he cut it off, then he
yes,
lose the perception. All right. So
yes,
when at first we have the perception of living beings, human being, and whatever. So
yes,
after we cut it off, then we lose it. All right.
yes,
Okay. So actually the whole thing is just maybe sometimes we can just try to use a very simple language. So before cutting off cutting up the cow, uh there is the perception of a cow, all right? So after some more, then there is no, right? So like this, before meditating on four great elements, so there is a perception of being,
yes,
or maybe this I, okay?
yes,
So after then so there is no more, okay?
yes,
Okay, now this is a very simple English. You all can follow, right? Okay, there's the advantage of why the Buddha wants us, and that is why the Buddha trying to tell us this one, all right? Now we come to this part. Actually, you all don't know. Actually, perception is very important. As part of the five aggregates, you have the perception. So if you can get it, it's a right view. But when you have, we
see.
call it, yes,
Can I
count,
interrupt?
call, yes.
Yeah, because I think there's another component to that section. Because after cutting up, then it becomes meat. Then you have perception of the meat.
Okay,
You give
before,
up the perception of the cow, but you take up the perception of the meat.
okay, after cutting out, so you only, there is
Perception of the meat.
a
There
meat,
is a
yeah,
perception.
okay, good, okay. So you say the perception changed from a cow to a meat,
To a
right?
meat.
Okay, yeah,
Then from
right.
the perception of the being, you change the perception of 4 elements.
For grammar, okay, good, all right. Okay, yes, all right. But even if you cut the meat, sometimes people might see the cow also. That's the thing. All right. Okay, now about the right view. So we are going to list this one. But another thing you all should know, this is actually quite famous in Tipitaka. We had this word called sanya vipalasa. Sanya is a perception, vipalasa is a distortion. All right. That's a wrong view. For example, things are real things are anicca. I hope you all know Pali. Anicca, dukkha, anatta, asubha. So impermanence, suffering, non-self, and impurity or non-beautiful. But because of due to this distortion, we see in the wrong way. We see as everything is permanent, everything is happy, there is a self, and everything is a subha, means everything is beautiful. Right? I think I no need to type the English. I hope you all be able to. Okay, may just simple here. So you see everything as permanent, happy, self, belong to self, and beautiful. So this is called sanya vipalasa. Okay, now we want to see perception in the five aggregate. All right, first one, you got the nama. Okay, well, maybe you start with first rupa and nama. Okay, now in Abhidhamma, you will definitely learn this one. Okay, now rupa, there's a few terms here. Sometimes we call it matter, sometimes we call it materiality. Nama, we call it mind, sometimes we call it mentality. All right. Now, five aggregates. All right, so I will ask one of you so to test your IQ. Linda, okay, now can you remember what is five aggregate, Linda? Are you here, Linda? Okay, I think she's not around. Okay, okay, Simin, do you know what is five aggregate?
I know in Mandarin, but
Okay, you say in Mandarin, all right? What is in Mandarin?
in Mandarin is what?
Can you remember?
Uh,
色受想行识
so aggregate is 五蕴, right?
五蕴 yes.
Then I know,
Okay.
so English cannot.
Okay, cannot. Okay, we pass to somebody else. Ming say? Yeah. What is five aggregate here? Form. Okay. Form or feeling.
feelings, perception, mental formation, consciousness.
Okay. Do you know the Pali?
Yeah, form is rupa,
Okay. So you got rupa. Yes.
vedana, feelings
Okay.
is
Vedana.
vedana, perception is sanya. Mental formation is sankhara,
Sankhara.
and
Okay.
consciousness is vijnana.
Jnana. All right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Now you can see. Thank you. Okay. Now you say lupa is actually same with the lupa. All right. And nama is divided to this Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara. All right. So if you study Abhidhamma, okay, you always study Abhidhamma. So just, okay. So in Abhidhamma, so you still have the Rupa, but this Nama can divide into, we call it Cetasika, mental factors, and Nama and what? Okay, Chitta. right? You can see the chitta is same with the consciousness. And then Cettasika is actually divide to, okay. Right. So Cettasika itself is 52, right? So you can see the feeling is considered very important. So that's why we take out the feeling, because whatever we do due to good feeling, we do something bad feeling, we avoid it, right? And you can see here, perception is also considered important. That's why it's put as separate one. But under the mental formation, we have the 50 here, all right? But why the Buddha or why some of the ancient scholar, why they take out these two? Because feeling is important. Even in the 12 dependent origination, we have the feeling. But now you can see the perception is considered important, because everything we see, the way we perceive things, like you see now, before that we perceive there's a cow. And after that, there's no cow. Before that, we see there's an eye or bean. So after that, we meditate on four great elements that lost the perception of this I, being, or me, or you, or she. So that's why you can see this sanya is very important here. Okay, this is just something about Abhidhamma, but actually the most important thing, I think most sutta will tell you about this sanya vipallasa. We see in the wrong way. Okay, what is impermanence, suffering, non-self, not beautiful? We see as permanent. We see as happy. We see there's a self. We say everything is so beautiful. So this is called sanya vipallasa. Okay, any question? You know, I continue. Okay, now how to practice it, all right? Because just now we say there are few sutta mentioned in this Visuddhimagga. So this is called Maharahula Ovada. Ovada is advice to the Rahula given by the Buddha. And why did the Buddha give this advice, right? Okay, here, right? So according to commentary, Venerable Rahula, at the time he was 18 years old, and then when the discourse took place, so he was attached to his appearance, because at the time he was on a youth age, so he was beautiful. He looked at the Buddha beautiful, so he was thinking that he will be just like Buddha, very beautiful. So he had craving. So the Buddha preached this sutta especially to eradicate his craving towards his own body and body of the others. So later we come back to this one. This is just some part about this Maha. Okay, so okay, this is called Maharahulo Vada, advice to Rahula, and another one called Dhatu Vibhanga Sutta. So here actually we are lucky today. You all can see many sutta, which is the original words of the Buddha. Okay, now somebody read this one. Okay, this is one of the sutta here. So you can read up to here. Ang, can you read? PC Ang.
And what is the internal earth element, friends? Whatever there is internally in oneself that is hard, harsh, and clung to, or acquired through karma. That is to say, head hairs, body hairs, teeth, nails, skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidney, heart, liver, midriff, spleen, lungs, bowels, entrails, gorge, dung, including brain, or whatever else there is internally in oneself that is hard, harsh, and clung to. This is called the internal earth element.
Okay, so from here, thank you. So from here, according to this sutta, you can see here trying to say the body parts, all right? So if you calculate, there should be 20 body parts. So whatever is considered hard, harsh, okay, all this body part, there's internal. So this is called internal earth element. Okay, So we read through first. Later we go to the body parts again. So we read the second paragraph first. Okay, somebody read. This one is just some Pali explanation. We can skip. So somebody read this one. Okay, Lee Guan Ngo, can you please read? Yeah, this one.
Okay. What
Yes,
is
you can
the
read.
internal
Read
water
slowly.
element, friends?
Okay.
Whatever there is. Okay. Whatever there is internally in oneself, that is water, watery, and clung to, there is to say, build a flame, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grief.
Spitter. Can I hear you? Yeah. Spitter. Oh, I think lost her voice already. Okay, spitter, snot. Okay, oil of the joints, urine, whatever else that is internally in oneself, there is water, waterly, and clung to. So it's also mentioned that clung to, acquired to karma, but we can leave it out first. Okay, so hard, harsh, earth element, water, waterly, internal element. All right. Okay. Okay. Cindy, you can read this one. Yes.
What is the internal fire element, friends? Whatever that is internally or oneself that is fire, fury, and clung to, and that is to say, that whereby one is warm, ages and burns up, and whereby what is eaten, drunk, chewed, and tasted gets completely digested, or whatever else that is internally in oneself that is fire, fury, and clung to, and this is called the internal fire element.
Can you read the next one?
What is the internal air element, friends? Whatever that is internally in oneself, that is air, airy, and clung to, that is to say, upgoing winds, downgoing winds, wind in the belly, winds in the bowels, winds that course through all the limbs, in-breath and out-breath, or whatever else that is internally in oneself, that is air, airy, and clung to. This is called the internal air element.
Okay, thank you. Right. So we can see what is fire, fury. Okay, so this is called internal fire element. Right. Now about the A. So we can highlight the upgoing wind, downgoing wind, wind in the belly, wind in the bowels, wind that courses through all limbs, in and out breath. So we call it internal air or wind element. Sometimes we can use the wind or air element, right? So this is exactly the word of the Buddha about how we can contemplate four great elements in the Mahalahulo Vada Sutta and Datu Vibhanga Sutta. So it looks very straightforward, right? Whatever hard and harsh, and then the body parts, and then the water, waterly, all the body parts, related body parts. And there is, beside this one, also what is warm, ages, burnout. So we can highlight also. And there whatever get, all the food that get digested. So this is called fire element. Okay. Right. I think this is some of the here. So later we come back here. So we just highlight the bubble. Now we can make a chart about. Because actually this chapter is combined with Vipassana and then the Samatha. Okay, so let's go for the just now. Okay, just now we read the detailed body parts. Anybody can remember how many body parts considered as earth element? This just test your IQ. How many?
20.
20, all right. How many as water element? Can you remember? So, okay, we go back just now.
The balance of it,
How many?
12.
12, all right. So, okay, this is in detail, right? Okay, in detail, if you want to list down 20 body parts considered as earth, water elements is 12, right? So if you all remember, we studied this before, okay? We studied this before, right? So earth element is 20 and, sorry, the most. Okay, so we studied this before and then the 20 of them and this water element just now mentioned also in the sutta is 12 of them. So we already mentioned that which one we can see, which one we cannot see. Okay, we can repeat now the same exercise. Which one we can see, you all can say out. Right? For example, we can see this one. So I need to put another color. Yeah. This one. Right? So this one we can see. Okay, next one we can see is if we want to contemplate 4 great elements, the earth element. So next one we can see is
Body hair,
yes, body hair.
nails,
Okay. Nail,
teeth,
teeth, right? And also skin, okay?
skin.
And what else? So what else beside this? The one you can see. Because if you want to contemplate the 4 great elements, it must be something that you can see. If you
Flesh.
cannot see, how are you going to contemplate it? So next one, which one can we see?
Flesh.
Sorry?
Number 6,
Fresh?
flesh.
Fresh, all right. Okay. And then,
Bones
can you see the bones in your
No.
body?
No.
No.
and feel it.
Number 19,
19, all right, yeah. When you go to toilet, yes. Okay, and?
the water element, all the water element.
Okay, the water element, which one can you see?
Phlegm.
Sweat,
Sweat, yes, okay. Sweat, you can see.
flame, push,
Number 22, phlegm.
Phlegm. Okay, same hub, yeah.
tears,
And then?
Pus.
27,
23.
Tears, soup.
saliva, spittle, 29,
Spit. Okay.
snot,
23.
Snot, yeah.
urine,
Urine, yeah.
23 pus if you
Yeah,
can,
23.
Yeah, plus when it's something the skin got problem,
Blood, 24.
blood, yeah.
blood, 24
Okay.
blood,
27. 28.
28 also.
28. How you see this one?
Face oily.
Face is oily, yes. Okay, yeah, it's true. Face oily. Okay, what else?
I think that's about all.
That's about all that we can see. So this means that these 32 body parts, you can divide it to 20 here, earth elements, and 12 water elements. Even these 20, you cannot see all because some are internal organs. But the Buddha actually recommend us to practice only this one. Because when the young Samanera, they are being shaved, right? When the hair is dropping down, so they are contemplating the water, the hair, the kesa, the head hair. So when they contemplate, they realize the impurity of the head. So after that, some as young as 7 years old, okay, as young as 7 years old, they become arahant. Why? Because they contemplate the head hair. Okay. So that's why even contemplation of the head hair is actually very strong. Can lead a young boy with a parami to become arahant. Okay. So this one. So this one you can practice as earth element because the Buddha said it's hard, something that hard, that you can, in a way we say gross, you can hold yourself. And this one is watery, all right? All these watery things that you can see when they come out. Okay. Then we go back to the topic just now. So you got 20 and 12. And actually, when we have hardness, I think some of you practice vipassana. You can do it in three pairs, right? Characteristic will be hardness and softness. All right. So the next pair is smoothness and what is the last one? What is the opposite? When you have something that's smooth, the opposite will be
Rough.
right, roughness. So another one, the last one, anybody can guess. What's the last pair that you can practice in a vipassana, in walking meditation, or sitting meditation? So what's the last pair here? This one you call it characteristic, all right?
Light and heavy.
Sorry?
Light
Sorry?
and
Cannot.
heavy.
Yes, okay, lightness and then
Heavy.
heaviness, yeah. Okay, so this we call it the characteristic of earth element, which you can practice in vipassana, right? In walking, sitting, and so on. Now, okay, here in detail, we had 12, right? But let's say in simple, okay, all these 12, we call it watery, right? The thing is called watery. So when we say watery, what is the meaning of watery? When you grasp the water, how do you know it's a water? What is the characteristic of water? Anybody can remember when you practice the vipassana?
Fluid.
Sorry?
Fluid. FL.
Yeah, fluidity. So another one is
Viscosity. Viscosity.
okay. What's another words for this viscosity? Another simple English. Another one is you all can guess cohesion.
Cohesion.
It means the stickiness, right? So for example, you got like you want to make a cake, you got the powder, you must put the water so it stick with each other. And this is fluidity, means it's flowing out. In a way, simply we just say something that flowing out, okay? So this is the characteristics. Now the wind we mentioned just now, I put the Pali here because it's interesting, all right? So just if you can remember, there are 6 types here. Outgoing wind, all right? It's like when we say hachu, the wind coming out from the body, outgoing. Downgoing wind, when you're letting the wind out from the body, right? And then when you notice that when your stomach is hungry, there's a wind in the belly. So we call it in the belly. And there's the wind that push the food, old food, the food, we call it in the bowels. So if there's not enough wind, the food cannot go out, all right? And then the wind that go over make the body move. So we call it the wind that course through all the limbs of the body. This means that your hand to make you, this is we call it movement, all right? Movement of the body. And then the in and out breath is also one of the wind. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this one you should contemplate in your meditation. So in part, yes.
What is the difference between downgoing wind and the wind in the bowel?
In the bowel is the one that push the food. It just push the food. Okay. Right. So this one will be like sneezing. Okay, when you sneeze, So the wind come out. So the one that how we call it, fart, yeah.
Fart,
Beside the
yeah.
what's
Farts,
another
yeah.
word? Passing wind, okay. Passing wind. Fart is more gross, okay. So berry is the one that when you get hungry, the stomach, the cook sound. This one is actually, they say, like push the food. The food must push down, so kind of like help to digest. Okay, so this one is called like motion. Okay, motion of the body. So we need to move. So we need to use our hand and leg. So there's a movement. Okay, better use the word movement. Movement of the hand, the body, and so on. So this one is very easy, just a breathing. All right. So in Bali is udam, go up, ado, go down, kuchi, stomach, kotasa is a bowel. This one is the last one, and then asaso, pasaso, so breathing. So we have 6 of them. So in Vipassana or in Samatha, you need to notice when the wind is moving. Because some people, they thought when they sit down, the body is shaking, there's a wind. But actually, this is natural wind element that you can see. Okay, now fire. So just now fire actually mentioned that we have how many types of fire? Actually here. Warm, edges, burn out, digested. Okay, so this is the one that mentioned just now in detail. Okay, now in brief, when we say their characteristic will be hot and maybe you say opposite of hot, they will be cold. So when your body feel cold, you cannot, this means that lack of fire element. Okay, so it's opposite. Like just now, you have the hardness, you also got softness. You got the smoothness, you also got roughness. If you got light, you also got heavy. So when your body feel cold, you have to nod it. When you feel hot, you also nod it. All right. So in detail, we have these 4. It's just mentioned very briefly. So anybody can guess what's the meaning of warm? What's the meaning of this one, warm? Okay, this is the first one. This is a second one. This is the third one, burns. This is the 4th one, digested. All right, so what is the first one? Warm. What do you think? Anybody can guess what's the meaning of warm here? We are talking about this kind of fire inside the body, all right? It's not that you are doing the barbecue or whatever. What's the meaning of warm here? What's the meaning of ages? What's the meaning of burns? What's the meaning of digested here?
Oh, Sayati, the warm can be the body temperature, like
All
maybe
right.
you fever sometimes.
Fever then will be under burns, right?
Oh,
Warm means that your body normal, because our body always have some temperature compared to outside. What's the body temperature? 37, right? 37 point something, point what? Can you remember? 0.6?
36.9.
9, all right, okay. So when the body start to heat
Sorry,
out,
36.9.
okay, 36.9, good, okay. Now, when your body feel warm, burns, that means that you're having fever. So how much you will get? 40 or 37, 38? Is it?
38 above.
Then
Above
37.5.
37. Okay, who's the nurse here? 37.5. All right. Okay, now burns. Now, what's the meaning of ages here? Anybody can guess?
The cells, like the fruits, get more matured when there is heat. Matured faster. So it's
Okay.
aging.
Yes, this aging is called aging. This fire make us get old. All right. So it's a fire that make us old, not make us young. All right. And the digested is? Anybody can guess. What's the meaning of digested here?
The enzymes, the acid in the stomach that help to digest the food.
Yes, this is a digesting. We call it I think some of you heard the word digestive fire in the stomach that help us to burn the food, the enzyme. So without this, the food will never get digested. All right. So you can see that we have a four fire. Normally we just know, oh, the body is hot, the body is cold, but in detail, according to the sutta, the body is warm, normal warm, the body get aging, there's a fever, is burning, and then the digestive fire in the stomach that help to digest the food. All right. So this one you can practice as samatha and also as vipassana. Okay, so we go back. Okay, so this we can see even the Buddha at that time, he already can mention about things, the body parts, and then different type of 6 type of winds, and warm, ages, burn, digested. All right. So all this. So when you read the sutta, actually very interesting. You can tally with the science and medical knowledge also. So this is, we call it vipassana point, but it's also mentioned as a samatha here. So 20 body parts, if you want to meditate, you want to go, oh, what is head hair, what is the body hair, and so on. But if you find it's too difficult to remember all the 20 body parts, so you just go for naturally when you're doing walking meditation, the 3 pairs: hardness, softness, smoothness, roughness, lightness, heaviness in sitting, walking, all right? Even like standing, right? When you're standing, you also cannot. When you're standing for a long time, you feel the feet is very hard, the body is very heavy, and so on. In detail, there are 12 body parts, but if you don't want to remember 12, you just remember when your body feel the fluidity, like your sweat, For example, you sweat and you feel the sweat flowing out, okay? And when your sweat coming out, you feel the body very sticky here. So there's a cohesion in the body. So for example, when you do meditation, maybe after a while, you feel your palm is a very how you call it, sticky because of the water element. So this type of wind, we cannot note all of them, only when they appear. So when you sneeze, you note, all right? When you're passing the wind, you know, okay, when the wind in the belly, when you're hungry, then you can hear the sound. And then when you are movement, any movement going, so this is called wind that course through all the limbs. And of course, when you are breathing in and breathing out. And then normally we not hot and warm, but actually if you put your hand on your stomach, you can always feel the heat in the stomach because the stomach is always warm. Okay, any question on this before I continue? Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm not used to
Brother
this.
Lim, yeah. Okay.
Not used to this vipassana. So when
Okay.
you are doing meditation on this 20 body parts, which is your focus? You run around on your focus or what? I mean,
Focus.
you jump around. Yeah, you like 20
Okay, all
body
right.
parts.
Okay, so actually I already do you have my YouTube channel? Right. You can look back at one of the YouTube channel where I describe these 32 body parts in detail. But actually the purpose of all these to try to see them as a 4 great elements, mainly is to see the asubha, right? Impurity. That's a focus here, main focus.
So you focus on the impurity.
Yeah, because when you take out anything here, even you take out the head hair, body hair, nail, nobody will like it, It's a loathsome impurity. Sometimes because the word impurity, we can use the word loathsome, okay? Loathsome and maybe very simple, not beautiful. All right. So that's the focus if you want to see as impurity. But the focus here, we are trying to cut it into the 4 great elements. This is another focus here. So you can do it two ways, either impurity or four great elements. Okay, can you follow, Brother Lim?
So for example, you're focusing on the head hair.
Yes.
Do you move it to nails, teeth, skins?
Yeah, yes. If you want to do the 32 body parts, you have to move one by one, one by one, one by one. So
So how
this
long do
one,
you
if
hold?
you do it, this is called 32 body parts, and it will take some time.
Okay, for
Yeah.
example, right now we are sitting. I focus on head hair. Is that right?
Not like that. You have to go.
So you
You
move,
have to listen to the
within a
previous.
few.
I think previous recording. I think I show you one of the text here, right? So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Right. So this is a text. So maybe I just show you something. Okay, okay, well, just skip it first, all right. Anyway, this one you have to go detail one by one, one by one, one by one, until you be able to focus in it, understand the Asubha impurity, then you move to the next one. So there will be 32. So if you want to practice this one, you have to go one by one. So most people don't want to do it because it takes some time, unless you want to do it full time as a samatha practice. For Vipassana, since you don't want to do in detail, the 20 body parts, where we just focus on this characteristic, which we call it the three pairs. All right, Brother Lee? That one is much more, we say this is more on if you want to do as a full samatha practice, okay? So this one will be more on just Vipassana. Okay? Right. So, all right. So now, if we are going to calculate, so we got 32. The earth is 20. Water is 12. Fire is 4. Wind is 6. So how much do you get? We call it 42. So this is another number here. So sometimes you wonder how many. So earth is earth, you got 20. Water, 12. Fire, you got 4. And then finally the wind, or A, you got 6. So total you have 42. This 20, 12, 32. And then 4 plus 6, another 10. So 42. So sometimes in the sutta, you might heard this word, 42. Right? Okay.
Hi, G.
Yes.
Can I go back to just now that one, the table on the four characteristics? Further up. Okay, just now you was talking about the Asubha.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talking about this. Can I say that those in detail, for example, in the fire, those in detail is actually the manifestation of the fire element?
Fire element. You're talking about this one?
Yeah, the in detail one, these are
Yeah, right.
manifestation, right?
This is the one mentioned in the sutta. Okay? Mentioned in the sutta. Normally we in a Vipassana, we
Okay.
just not
So
hot,
typically,
hot or warm, that's all. Yeah. We don't go and
because
analyze, oh, this is a what body temperature, this is a fever temperature. We don't do that kind of analysis. Yes.
okay. Then
Yeah.
further up the just like you was mentioning about the Asubha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, up again.
This one?
Okay. You were talking
Okay.
about the Asubha of the body. That one is against the impurity of or for those who
30.
have sensual desire for the body lah.
Yes. Because
Whereas
this sutta is preached by the Rahula, by the Buddha, right?
okay. That
Yeah.
means it's against the defilements of sensual desire for the body,
Mm-hmm.
impurities. Whereas for
Yeah,
the
okay.
four great elements, is more against the self, right? Is it correct? Against the idea.
32 parts body is much on Asubha, but if you have Asubha, so remember when we say this Sanya Vipalasa, all right? So normally we have to
Okay.
see everything, anicca, dukkha, even the body is anicca, right? The body is suffering. The body is non-self. The body is asubha. So we have to see 4 together is better.
But generally, if you look at the 32 parts, you will see the asubha as more distinct rather than the anicca, dukkha, anatta.
It depends on how you see. Yes, we can see asubha, but at the same time, we will see this. Because when we see asubha, not beautiful. So at that time, we understand it's non-self. Because if this thing belong to us, definitely we want the body to be beautiful, or the body parts to be beautiful. All right. Yes. So these 4 means that like our finger, when you see the finger, you see your hand, there are 5 fingers, right? Maybe one is more obvious at one time, but they should come together because we're supposed to see them as supposed to practice them, 4 of them, not just one. But yes, 32 body part asubha will be more clearer. Okay.
Because from my perspective, is that 4 elements is more on the self. That means there's a default idea that there is a permanent self.
Yeah,
So if you
right.
look at the
Yes.
4 elements, it's more
Mhm.
distinct in that sense.
Yes, it depends on how you see, the viewpoint. Because when you see this, for example, earth element, sometimes you see hardness, sometimes you see softness, sometimes you see smoothness, sometimes you see heaviness, roughness. So you see this changing. So this anicca already, right? So that's why in Vipassana we have to be mindful moment to moment.
Sayaji,
Yes.
I have a question on the 4 elements, the chart.
Okay.
For most of them you have put down in detail and the brief one, right? So in detail is for samatha practice.
Oh yeah, okay. In detail, yes. If you want to do very detailed, yes. Body parts, yes.
So like this 12 water element body parts also for
Yes.
samatha. So for
Mhm.
vipassana, we can just look at fluidity and cohesiveness, right?
Yeah. Vipassana means whatever come out, you just nod it. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Now for the wind element, yes, we also can do in brief. All right. So in detail will be like the Buddha say these 6. This is in detail, we got 6 of them. Now in brief, anybody remember there are 2 only. What is in brief of the wind or air element? So how do you know the wind element? How do you know it's air element?
Motion.
Support.
Motion, yes.
Support lah.
Yeah, motion, and another one we call it support. Yeah, because when you see the tree, how you know there's a wind? Because the tree is moving, all right? The leaves are moving, so they're motion. So when you fly the kite, why the kite can fly out? Because the wind is supporting the kite or balloon, all right? So when you blew a balloon, you notice the balloon will stand up because the air is supporting the balloon standing out, right? So the motion, like you see the leaves moving, all right? So that's how we see with the wind. Actually, we cannot even see the wind with our eyes because it's nothing that kind of like solid that we can see. Okay, so I think yes.
Just one more question, Sayaji.
Yes.
Let's say if we contemplate on the 4 elements during vipassana, basically we note what we notice, right?
Yes,
basically what we
yes.
notice, we just make a mental note. Okay, this is hard.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That's it, and then move on to another awareness. Am I correct?
You notice it's hard, and then you also need to notice how it changed.
Okay.
The hardness will not be same hardness. It will be soft later. Or the hardness may change because you sit on a cushion for a long time, it become hard. After that, you have other feeling like a pain, like maybe numbness. So the feeling will change. So you have to continue to not to see the anicca. All right?
Until
Anicca, until you'll be able to let go the what we call it, the perception of this self. All right.
Okay, so we don't jump from now I see that I'm sitting down and I feel the hardness and heaviness. Later on, I see it change to lighter feeling.
Yeah,
and then
yeah. You
something
just not. Yes.
something
Whatever
else
change, you
pop
just not. Yes.
Okay. Then something else pop up. For example, I feel that I'm sweating and I note the water element. Is it like that?
Yes, yes. Whatever obvious you note it.
Okay.
As long as it's the ultimate truth.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, now you already mentioned here, stiffness is earth element on the paragraph 84. Cohesion is the water element here. Means stiffness means hardness. Then the wind, the maturing, and so on, okay? And then distinction, there's another A element. They could use the word, distension, all right?
Distension. Stiffness, I agree. Your spelling.
Huh?
Stiffness is spelling.
No, I didn't.
No, your
This
spelling
is
is wrong. Huh? No, your
no,
spelling
this
is
is
wrong.
not my spelling. This I copy from the Visuddhimagga.
You better change it. Stiffness, never, no such word. La.
Distension.
No, the stiffness, just up there.
Okay. Stiffness, okay. Stiff, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
correct.
all right. Okay, now, when you try to notice four great elements, again, until finally you only get excess concentration, right? So that's the one. Okay, now, there's an advantage, but the problem is you only get excess concentration, right? Now, we can see what's the advantage here. Somebody please read this. Yeah. Okay. Lee, brother Lee, can you read? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Paragraph 117, this bhikkhu who is devoted to the defining of the four elements immerses himself in voidness and eliminates the perception of living beings. Since he does not entertain false notions about wind, beasts, spirits, objects, etc., because he has abolished the perception of living beings, he conquers fears and dread and conquers delight and aversions. He is not exhilarated or depressed by agreeable and disagreeable things, and as one of great understanding, he either ends in his deathless or he is bound for a happy destiny.
Okay, so thank you. So you can see the good point here. Voidness. He eliminated the perception. Just now we say the sanya. This one is perception of the so he conquered the fear and dread. Okay. So this means that his mind is equanimous, not depressed, not necessarily, okay. And if he have one great understanding, so you can see advantage that it will lead to nibbana. Deathless means nibbana. Or if he not going to nibbana, at least he go to sukati, good place. So there's the advantage of this with the getting the excess concentration. But here he say excess concentration, but here he say lead to deathless, lead to nibbana. Okay, so there's a two different point here. Right. So, okay, we go for this sutta. This is like just now here. In this sutta, so later the Buddha advised him to practice the non-self and equanimity towards the four great elements. Because it's important because the Rahula was matured and then he was getting attachment, has attachment to his own body. Yeah. So you can see here. He's on the earth element. And then the Buddha asked him to contemplate all the internal earth element, external, and you should come with the proper right discernment. This is not mine. This is not what I am. This is not myself. So means C is not belong to this self or I. So the passage actually repeat for other elements. Okay, this is actually very good, the simile here. All right. So, Mingsi, can you read this one? Yeah.
Rahula, develop the meditation in tune with earth. For when you are developing the meditation in tune with earth, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind. Just as when people throw what is clean or unclean on the earth, feces, urine, saliva, pus, or blood, the earth is not horrified, humiliated, or disgusted by it. In the same way, when you are developing the meditation in tune with earth, agreeable and disagreeable sensory impressions that have arisen will not stay in charge of your mind.
Okay, thank you. So this is very interesting. The Buddha asks us to develop the meditation of 4 great elements. The earth element first, in tune with earth. This means that you think like earth, right? So whatever, even people throw the dirty things, clean or not clean, on the earth would never horrified, not humiliated, not disgusted. So the mind should, like the earth, equanimous, not bothered by good or bad things. Okay, now, all right. So I think we will have some discussion here. So before we finish, all right, now we can go for discussion. Now, this is the first question, because just now we say the 4 great elements will lead to access concentration, not to the absorption concentration jhana, right? But the same text mentioned, another text mentioned that advantage, it will lead to deathless, right? Deathless means nibbana. But here it mentioned only can get to access concentration. Access concentration means not deep concentration, not even jhana. So how is it? Do you think that which one is more correct? Will it lead to nibbana or only access concentration? Another second question, can you practice meditation of 4 elements in 4 posture? So is it better to do sitting or walking meditation? The last question, like Brother Lim asked, do you have to see the 32 body parts to practice the contemplation of 4 great elements? All right. So anybody want to answer the first question? Ready? Brother Ong, can ask Brother Ong. What do you think, Brother Ong? The first one.
I think can because when you have access, you can easily get into jhana.
You can get into jhana, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you don't have access, no chance of jhana at all. And then jhana you can go into deep concentration, can go into nibbana. You see things
But
differently.
according to the some of the Abhidhamma texts, they say this only can get to access, it never get into any jhana.
Oh, you have to switch your topic, I think. I stick your subject.
Okay, separate until fix the mind can get to jhana, right? Yeah. But what's the purpose of getting jhana? That's the question. All right.
Jhana will be your right concentration.
Right concentration. Okay. So the purpose will be to, maybe we just focus. Okay, the focus is to get to right concentration, right? Even you practice the 4 great elements, the focus will be simply just to get 4 right concentration and also right understanding. All right, that just now we mentioned already. Okay, thank you. Okay, now the next question, who want to answer? Can you practice the meditation of 4 great elements in 4 postures? Can you or not? Next person, anybody want to answer this question?
Saiji, I would say yes.
Okay, yes, all right. How about sleeping posture? Okay, let's say in a sleeping, we call it the lying down posture. Okay, so which one should you practice, or how should you practice in the lying down posture?
During lying down, I think we can go to the touching points of where the touching
Okay,
point.
touching point. Okay.
Mhm.
So at the
Then in
touching
and
point,
out
what
breath.
kind of in and out breath? Yes, you can feel the in and out breath. And what else beside the in and out breath?
I think there is also air element because, sorry, already in and out breath is air element.
Okay, so this air element, yes. Okay.
Also sometimes air from the stomach, burping.
Burping, yeah. All these are air element. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Now, beside the air element, what else can you meditate in the touching point? So this means that when you feel very lazy, or where we use the word before sleeping, okay? Before sleeping, the best way is so you can meditate these four great elements. Before sleeping means that you're at the lying down posture. So you can note the touching point and then the breathing. And at the touching point, what should you note? That's the question here. What should you note when you're at the when your body touch the bed? What should you note? Yeah. What should you hardness, yes.
Softness, roughness, smoothness.
Hardness and softness. Okay.
Smoothness also can, whether
Smoothness. Okay. Okay. And you say roughness. What is roughness when you're sleeping? Is there any roughness?
maybe the blanket is rough or whatever you say, contact.
Okay. Okay, good. And what else? Yeah, beside this one. Actually, you should not heavy also, because after a while your body feel heavy, right?
Right.
You're heavy, yeah, heavy and so on. Okay. Okay. Normally you will not feel so light on this certain part. Okay. Now the question is, next question. Is it better to do four great elements in sitting or walking? So which one do you prefer? Okay, or somebody can ask. Anybody who wants to answer? How about we have a new member here, So CC. Who are you? Can you introduce yourself? Yeah.
Hello.
Oh yes, yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. Yeah. You just do short introduction and you can answer this question also. Yeah.
I'm Susisi from KL.
Oh, okay, KL. All right. Okay. All right. Later, maybe you answer this question first. Okay. Now, is it better to practice sitting or walking meditation? Which one do you prefer? For this, we say for these great elements. All right. For the four great elements. Okay. Which one do you prefer?
I really have no idea.
Yeah, no idea. So you never practiced before. All right. Okay. So, Cindy. All right. Which one do you prefer?
I will prefer the sitting position.
Okay, you prefer sitting. Why?
Sitting position mostly, you really can concentrate. Whereas when you do walking, then you
You
have
feel better concentration, right? Mm-hmm.
concentration.
Okay.
Because
So in walking, you don't like it.
walking, I scared the risk of falling. Where you choose
Okay.
some place that is uneven, so there is a risk of falling and all this.
Falling. Yeah. Okay. All right. So different people. Some people prefer sitting, and then some people prefer walking. All right. Anybody prefer walking and to see the four great elements? Anybody here?
I practice once before. So I prefer walking to
All right.
contemplate on the four great elements.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
my experience is that I can see I can experience more elements.
Okay. Yeah, it's good also, because I think sitting sometimes the mind too much thinking, right? But walking, the mind is more alert. All right. Okay. Thank you. Now the next question: do we have to contemplate or see the 32 body parts in order to practice the four great elements? Okay. Yes or no? Just now I think Brother Lim also asked this question. All right. So who never answered before? Shumoy, yeah. Shumoy, you are very quiet here. Shumoy, yes. What do you think, Shumoy?
But to me, it's not necessary. Mostly I will concentrate on those like more on daily things that I can feel with
Okay.
connection to the body parts lah.
Okay, yeah. more on daily things, the body parts that
The
daily things
activities.
or daily activities that you can see and connecting the body. Yeah, you can see as we are, no need to wait until you sit down and meditate, right? So we can see the 4 great elements anytime, anywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's good, yeah, because every time we go, everywhere, all right? So no need to specifically sit down and say you want to meditate because it's very obvious to us. All right.
Like
Okay.
the one, the meditation posture also. Last time I used to do sitting meditation a lot. So then
Okay.
with having those Dharma talk also, that I change the posture like the walking. Even though walking also, I can feel the elements also like we are walking instead of rising and falling. Other than we can feel the ace when we do meditations, when it's the weather is cool and hot, then we can feel the elements too lah. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So we actually, the purpose of this is we should try to feel the 4 great elements in our daily life. Like now when you're speaking to people, sometimes you feel the A coming out from your mouth, or when you're breathing in, breathing out, there's A here. When you're sneezing, or when you're passing the wind, you have to say sorry, all right? And then you feel the stomach when you're hungry. Actually, when we have stomach pain, why do we have stomach pain? It's because the wind inside the stomach is hurting, make the pain. So normally when we have a pain in the stomach, what we do, we always take something that quite antacid, right? Antacid is actually reduce the wind. So when you reduce the wind, then we don't have the stomach pain. So you can contemplate all this, how it goes. All right. All right. So for 4 great elements, you can do it sitting, walking, standing, or any posture, as long as clear to you, because the purpose, as the Buddha said, there's either 2 ways. If you contemplate the 32 body parts to see the asubha, the non-beautiful or the body organs, or if you just want to cut until you lost the perception, or there's a being, there's a I, right? So there's a purpose of meditation. So actually interesting for this sutta, because this Visuddhimagga, one thing about Visuddhimagga is actually taking out facts from many suttas and put in a very logical way. So that's why the Visuddhimagga is considered as handbook for meditator. So any meditator, if you are interested in meditation, you should really go and purchase, or I think some of the place have the book there. You can go and get a book and then try to read by yourself. It's actually very clear sometimes. Okay. So before we stop, okay, we just pause a while. Yeah, just pause a while. Yeah. Buttercup, you want to ask something? Yes.
Yeah. So far, we've been discussing is about internal element. So at what stage do we look for the external elements?
According to Sutta, is whatever internal and external you should perceive in the same way. Like outside is hot, all right? Outside is cold. All right. But of course, you cannot feel of course, outside will be aging. Why things are aging? The tree are aging because they have the fire element in there. So you can perceive in the same way also. Do you get the point? Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because the sutta mentioned all,
more on the internal, right? It's more on the
or
internally,
externally,
because
or
yes,
internally and externally. That
all
means
right, okay,
these
yes.
are options.
Okay, so for the Satipatthana Sutta, it's talking about internally, you should contemplate your internal things inside your body. Externally, there are few definitions. One thing is the body of others. All right, there's one definition of this external. Another definition will be the environment, like the hot, the heat, whatever outside, like the water. That's why the Buddha also asks us to see the environment and compare. Like just now, the earth, you see the earth, no matter you put the dirty things on it never complain. So when we see the outside, we should perceive it in the same way like how we perceive our body, or we should see the outside, take the Dharma lesson and perceive in our body. Can you follow?
Yes, that is more for the equanimity, so that they can actually,
right. Yes.
rather than
the purpose of finally to practice the 4 great elements to reach the equanimity. That's the purpose, So the mind is not shaken by the good or bad feeling in the body. All right. In the seven bojjhanga, the highest one is equanimity. But to reach the equanimity, you still have to go through the investigation of the Dhamma to see all the states like these four great elements. Okay. All right. Okay.